Hello, good morning, buenos días a todos. Just would like to welcome to this workshop on the Barcelona Challenge. So yesterday we organized regionalization webinars, so divided for each of the 6 MUFPP regions, and today is the day for the let's call it thematic webinars, because you will be, and this will be then explained by Daniel, you are divided in 3 tables with some cluster, and you are reflecting, let's say, the 6 MUFPP categories, so from governance to food waste. It is an important moment of exchange. At your table are seated some officers and political representatives that already signed the challenge and have submitted their commitment. So you will have now, I think, a very good opportunity to learn and exchange from one to another in the true Pact spirit. I think you will share interesting solution, and my suggestion is that you will then join the core group of cities with those solutions that you have learned today. Then it's the moment to join the challenge and showcase to your citizens and also to the Pact community, together with the Pact community, your achievement with your policies. So enjoy the challenge. Buen trabajo a todos.
Enjoy and enjoy. No, enjoy and enjoy.
Good morning to everybody. I will try to explain which are the game rules for this moment. Yeah, I'm Daniel López from the Technical Secretariat of the Spanish Network of Cities for Agroecology. Thank you. We're going to spend a while. The aim of this session is just to have time to share ideas, to share experiences, to share questions. And so we have prepared a space in which there are 3 tables. In each table, there are 2 of the categories of the framework of action of the Milan Pact and also of the challenge, Barcelona Challenge. And so the idea is that there are 2 or 3 cities which are going to share some projects related with 2 of the categories of the Barcelona Challenge and Milan Pact, and there will be time for us to make questions, to suggest, to share our own experiences we are bringing from our cities, and then to move also. So there will be 2 rounds of 25 minutes in which we will be in a table, in the table we want or we are interested in, and then we will have another round of 25 minutes to move, to go to other table, to know other projects. The projects will stay in the tables, but the other people will move. And the idea is just this, just to share, just to discuss, to debate, and there will be one facilitator in each table which will be taking notes for the conclusions of the session to be shared, just thinking on which are the main challenges on developing these actions, which resources we need, and yeah, there will be 1 people, Elisa, and Maria, and me will be facilitating each table. Elisa, you want to present yourself?
Thank you. Hi everyone, my name is Elisa Marceau. I work with Terre en Ville in France. So we've been working with the Spanish network to develop the Barcelona Challenge, to present it here today.
Maria, maybe you know Maria already? But
Good morning to everybody. I'm María Carrascosa, and I have been working with Daniel in this proposal of the Barcelona Challenge, and of course with Álvaro with the Barcelona City Council.
And nothing else by the moment. We have a special guest here in 2 of the tables. Will be colleagues from La Via Campesina. Yeah, will be also sharing with us the views of farmers regarding food policies. Perhaps you want to present each other?
Yes, hello everybody. My name is Morgane Audy. I am a small-scale farmer in Bretagne, in France, and representing here La Via Campesina, world movement of small-scale farmers. Thank you.
And Isa? Ah.
Hello, my name is Isa. I'm from the Basque Country, very close to here, and I am here representing the International Planning Committee on Food Sovereignty. Thank you.
Thank you, Isa. So that's it, and let's begin. Thank you.
more
nowadays the regulations and new economic models may change, and we can need for global legal transition, which we are supporting in court, like the past topic, and to allow local actors who are transversal and very new ways of thinking and acting and dealing together. Many people now are free topics, subjects about governance, food production, organization, and the last part is the speaker, just like diet. Is the problem of lack of participation. And we think that more democracy is important for food, such as whatever condition, or people, we think that we have really room for manner, room for manner that chooses, real choices. We are not compelled, yes, we are not compelled to some political shows, and we must admit that. We must admit that in front of these choices of the trajectory, we can do towards carbon neutrality. And we must have citizens implied in those choices and not let politicians and technicians choose for them. And we have to change the posture of elected technicians to democracy and the implementation of the renewal of local democracy, which is very strong and which aims at reaching people who are far from self-particularity. So this is my conclusion. Let's carry together a pledge to participate to adapt regulation for which cities will decide space and second, sensitive citizens the power and the opportunity to choose the means to take charge of the future. Thank you for your participation. I think, for example, in Milan, I'm not sure, but in Milan, didn't control the canteens and the schools from the municipality. But in Barcelona, no. We only control the kindergarten, because they are our own schools. But all the primary schools, we can remove. We cannot do it. We can facilitate, but it's not on our side. So that's one thing. I don't know how it's in other ones. Public procurement, and how we manage hospitals is even more important for that. Because we only run one hospital. So we are trying to convince the regional government, Catalan government, because that's what we are trying to make it like a common plan. And the other thing, apart from public procurement, is commercialization. And then here, my two kind of question is first thing, my question is, what do you need small farmers to do? Sometimes you cannot, for example, farmers markets, when we talk to local farmers, that's not what they need, because they cannot participate by outside. So only the young ones are very competitive cities, but not for the rest. Even if we're in the wholesale market selling themselves potentially, they cannot afford it. So that's what we are making something which is through the internet and with competitive logistics, so it's cheaper for them. But we are experimenting with the and the other thing is like the relation with the small retailers. Because in Spain, in Barcelona, we have 40 markets, 2,000 small retailers inside selling. We need them to be selling what is sold. Because the farmers are not going to hold those in a massive sale. 2,000 shops selling that product in 60 million businesses a year. So, and we are trying to get them into that, or to invest in this project, so they go to buy that. Because otherwise they go to buy it. Going to our market and then very eager to local. So, how we get more retailers into this? It's one of the big challenges. I'm obsessed with the scale, not the big scale. So otherwise we're always talk about nice choices, nice timing for the farmer, and we're going to find the way to sell it, the production. But small retailers is difficult. I mean, we didn't work in 2 years to get them now. We were just at the dinner, the president, and now they are really keen, but it's tough. Well, it's not like easy what we go into this. For example, with farmer markets, they see it as a competence. So we have to stop with farmers. It's not the solution for markets, for farmers. And it creates problems in the relation with the retailers. So then you lose them for the rest. So that's my strategy. Let's go on. That's one thing, because I like to... tableau avec l'écran. Tiens, j'ai une liste à faire ça. Allez, ça va servir, ça, vas-y. Et moi, comme si j'étais... voilà, fait que... traditional model change. Third, the question of organization is a more general question, the question of transition, which implies actually real legal transition, which we promote in Marseille, that we cannot support encourage innovation without changing profoundly some rules of the system. We had a concrete pledge about that, about collecting proposals for this laws and regulations at the local, national, and international level. One can build initiatives such as centralization, whereas decentralization or localization. So that's a real dynamic concept which is going on in Marseille for 5 years, and I've been supporting in the COP for 5 years. The last part is democracy. Democracy, the lack of citizen is participation. What we do is to have public officers and elected admit that although we must go to large carbon neutrality, we have the choice between many trajectories, and that is choice, which is a very important choice in the world. Must not be made by elected officers, because anyway, they will imply changes in social models and will imply the local actors. So what concretely we do with that? Information. Yesterday I missed information organizing between elected and technicians and public officers about creativity and collective intelligence ways to change the life and admit that citizens have the right to say what he wants on behalf of climate change, on behalf of the need to change and that's the two ways we are concretely implementing in Marseille. The pledge for participate to adapt regulations at every level. Regulation which will have life later, and then give citizens the power to choose their own future. local economic product than buying technology and relying on technology for
Yeah? No, it's 10. Yeah, okay.
Moment about that. I think we must think what are we going to do in 9 minutes. So, because the idea was to share key elements from each table and then have the feedback from and then so much, and then close remembering what the challenge.
Maybe we can do like 1 minute, 2 or 3 points per table. That's it.
Yeah.
And then
For them.
okay, but they already taken some time.
Okay, so close.
Okay. Can I take the mask off?
Of course.
Okay, everyone. I'm sorry, I'm going to have to cut the conversations short. Thank you very much, everyone, for your investment in this workshop, the energy you've put in it. I know that we've been having some really interesting conversations on our side. We are running a bit late, as you can obviously imagine. We're going to just take 1 minute or 2 per table to try and bring the key elements together here. And then we're going to hear from our 2 special guests if they have some words to share after all the conversations they've been having here in the tables. And we'll have a wrap-up just to remind ourselves that the next steps with the Barcelona Challenge and how you can all get involved. So I'm going to start with table number, this one, I don't know what number it is, 3. Yeah, let's start with table number 3, Dani, if you're okay. Or Maria, do you want to start? You're happy to start? Okay, Maria, you start.
Let me know if you don't agree with the notes, okay? So 4 things, key elements for food waste. So develop partnerships when in the projects where we work on food waste, on collection and distribution of food waste. So develop partnerships. It's very important to include different actors in those type of projects. So city council, but also external actors, public and private, to work on the actions and the narrative that we are going to develop in those type of projects that are not simply giving waste to poor people. When we develop internal coordination at the city council level, we need to know that we are going to face difficulties to work together with other departments, also because there are not habits in working together. So there is a need to develop actions to try to change this scenario as training in collective intelligence and creativity. And it is needed to open the space to participation of civil society. And when we do that, when a city council do that, there are challenges that needs to be faced and managed because the social ecosystem changes, because many times civil society and city council, they speak different languages, so it is needed to find a common path. And there will be different tensions that the city council needs to understand and to manage.
Thank you. Danny?
Thank you. Yeah, I've tried to make an abstract in 4 points of everything we talked with, which was a lot and I think really interesting. We were, for example, talking on the need to strengthen the organization of farmers regarding to food supply. Yeah, we were talking on food production and food supply and distribution. And because sometimes when cities open some different channels of marketing, including food procurement, there is not enough strength of farmers' organizations to supply in quantity, in stability, in quality, all the years, and this would be one thing. Another thing is that we need alliances to step from niche distribution action, as for example farmers markets, to other distribution systems or channels to reach all population. For example, alliances with retailers, with food retailers, small shops, but also with local communities and organizations to overcome possible political changes which could stop policies. Another issue we were talking about was about price. Prices are too low for farmers and too high for people, for consumers, especially low-income groups. And it should be the opposite. Good, fair prices for farmers and affordable prices for good food for common population and especially for low-income groups. And we were talking that food procurement and food aid would be very important in this sense, trying to bring farmers directly to work with this kind of services. And at the end, we were discussing a lot on competencies of cities. Cities can make big changes, cities cannot. And we were thinking that there is a problem with competencies in cities, for example, regarding food procurement. There is a difficulty to work with regional governments. There is not a good understanding, but there are interesting experiences. And also as cities, and especially big cities and capitals, can act as pilot projects to scale food policies, and this is happening in some places when, and especially when political environments are enabling for this. I don't know if I forgot many things for sure, but more or less.
Thanks, Danny. I think we'll have forgotten many things, but you can keep up with, you can track the speakers down during the rest of the day, and you can ask your questions. So a few of the ideas that came out of the conversations on our table, which were around sustainable diets and nutrition and general access, social equity. So a lot of the projects presented involved encouraging habit change and diet change, which is, we all know, something that's extremely difficult to do. The projects tend to start at a small scale, for pilot projects, and one of the issues raised was the difficulty of scaling up, which is something that needs to be taken into account very early in these projects to see how this can be managed and transitioned so that the project doesn't just end at a pilot stage. We have to also keep in mind the resources that we have at our disposal, which will be different for every city, every place. And identifying those strong points can be a first way into getting to the quick wins without losing track of the long-term aims. But the quick wins can be something that you can show for your project, and this came out as a crucial way of getting more investors to be interested in the project, to have something to show for it, and then to be able to attract investors, and also thinking about keeping in mind that corporate social responsibility is another leverage that we can use to fund some of the projects we're running. Another issue that was raised, another challenge, was to keep in mind the interaction and the complexity between different issues, such as, for instance, food vulnerability or food poverty or energy poverty, and the combination between the two, and making sure that this is well taken into account in the monitoring of the work that we're doing, to make sure that we have this systems approach from the beginning. There was a conversation as well, an interesting conversation around working with people with very different cultural backgrounds, and the idea was to see it maybe not so much as a problem, as an issue, but more as a way to create the social, rebuild social connections within a community, and to put on events. It's a good excuse to put on events to share those differences, and get people involved in cooking and sharing food. And maybe just one final thought was to remember that we're talking about each and every one of us having a right to food, and not being an ambassador to an idea or being a stakeholder for one project or another, and that this is the basis of what we're all coming from, the same basis of the right to food. So we need to really come at it from this angle, rather than trying to get a part of the population to represent or to be models in one way or another with organic consumption or local, etc. So I don't know if that probably doesn't do justice to all the conversations we've had, but I think we need to wrap up here. Maybe I'd like to invite the two presenters, maybe, not the presenters, the special guests we have, if you want. Yeah? Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much for all this very inspiring discussion. Well, the goal here is to go for more climate-friendly agricultural production. And it should be very clear that there is no technical problem in this. I'm a small-scale farmer myself, and we are all able to produce in agroecological manner. I mean, the fact that there are organic farmers proves this. The problem is economical. The problem is that markets want us to produce for cheap agricultural products, that this is not possible. The transition towards agroecological production will make food more expensive. We should be very, very clear about this. Pesticides, for example, they help to produce cheap because one single farmer can work more land. But if you want to go into diversified agroecological production, it will require more labor, more farmers, and that's what we want, because we want employment in the rural areas. We want more farmers. I think that this should be the key element to see whether your politics is successful or not, whether there are more farmers in the rural areas around your cities or not. It is the key element. For food procurement for cities, you will need farmers. And as long as the food is mainly in the end of markets, it's complicated. Because markets will always look for the cheapest products as procurement, and they will always try to look for selling it at the maximum price, which will make it complicated for the poor people in the cities to buy healthy food. So in thinking how we could deal with this, even if it's more complicated, we need to think how, in a way, to get food out of the market and to make it more something about solidarity and collective procurement. And this is the reason why you start very often with public procurement, which is something very good, because this is something on where you have an end on it. But how do we do to move forward so that it's not only public procurement, but so that the people, when they buy food in the cities, they can have access to good food coming from the farmers around at affordable prices, but that the farmers get the right higher prices for it. And this is where there is a lot of work to do. And right now, the corporations, they have found a solution to go so-called climate friendly and cheap. This is technology. They say, okay, because what is expensive in agroecology? It is the labor, it is us. We are too expensive with the farmers because we want to be paid. Yeah, we need a revenue. This is basic. And so they propose to do everything by technology through digitalization, robots, biotech, and all these things. The idea that they have is that it could be possible to produce food in an ecological way without the social cost of it. And this is really a big trap, you say trap? That we are now confronting to as La Via Campesina. We want to defend that the food is produced by the people, not by the machines. And it is not true that the machines do not have ecological weight. Wait, say this? A cost. It's very expensive. It's more energy. It's more petrol. It's more electricity. Most of the time, it's all about chemical products or biotech. So it's nothing like agroecological. So, because right now we see both at the European Union level, it's all about technology, but also in this last UN Food Systems Summit, it was all about technologies. And we are very much afraid about this, because this means corporate capture over our food systems, where I am sure that what we all want is that the citizens, the consumers, and the farmers have the power over the food system. And in order to do this, we need to, in a way or in another, take food outside of the market and make it something which is more about common good that we share. The people who eat and the people who do produce the food. We need, in a way, to unify, because it is our common interest to take the corporations away of the food system and to make it democratic again. Yeah, thank you very much.
What can I say now? Only few points to add. Is something that I said before in our group, but to share with the rest of the people. Just to say before that I introduced myself as part of IPC. I am part of Urgency International Network, which is the international network on community-supported agriculture. Andrea, hello. Andrea was our president for some years. No, as I said in our group, I think that we are here sharing very good practices. And my main point is that from social movements and from the people that are working on food sovereignty, we miss many times to hear more right to food in these discussions, because we hear all the time the SDGs, and of course we have many tools, but we need to have very clear that we are talking about a right and a human right. And this is important because we are not here as a multi-stakeholder. We know that now multi-stakeholderism is everywhere, but we are right holders. We are not a stakeholder. And this is a very important point when we are talking about food. And for me, it's the main point to share. And this is important because if we don't have this clear, or even when we have it clear, sometimes our discussions are, I don't know how to say, are difficult, and some things seems that are not clear. And for example, because I work with vulnerable people, and it's very hard to hear sometimes when we are discussing about the actions with vulnerable people, how can we select the people? And sometimes we want to have, we ask poor people to be an example of, and to be more sensitive on agroecology, and no, I can give you some money, but only if you buy agroecological products. And you? And you? What are you doing? I have a lot of problems, and I have also to buy what you are asking me. No, I hope you are understanding me well. And we have rights, and we can't ask this to people, because the right to food is something very basic, and especially when we are talking about public policies. And the other point, and Morgan said the word transition before, is that we need to design, and this is a challenge, from a coordination way, production and consumption transitions. Sometimes we start with farmers, but we don't work with consumers, and other times we start, or we put a lot of energy on many campaigns to change the habits of consumption, but we don't work with farmers to feed that people, no? So we need to work together, and we need to, and I know, as Danny said, the problems with the competences on in the cities and in other municipalities, but I think that even if we have these problems, we need to have a territorial approach. We need the boundaries and the limits are there, but the approach has to be open and to look other parts of on other areas of the territory. And other important point is when we are thinking about these transitions, many times we are asking people to change the habits at home, and we think sometimes, oh, we are spending a lot of time to explain people that this is healthy food, but they don't want to. It seems that they don't want to eat better. And sometimes we forgot that we are asking to people to change a lot of habits and to cook more. And we need to look at who is cooking at home and what are we asking to that people. Because many times are women who are cooking at home, and we are asking them to spend more time cooking, and because the tasks are not equal, equal. We have not the equality at home, and we need to have a gender perspective when we are designing. Yes, I am. When we are designing these transitions, and the last point, and I close with this, is that many of the actions that you are sharing here are projects. And it's okay, because we need projects and we need fundings and we need everything. But the answer, the question is, what happens after the projects? Because we know that the projects end and we need to follow to build together after the projects. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Morgan and Isabel, for coming here and for sharing with us your views. I think that they are very important to try to push food policies in the cities in a common path, in a common way, in a good way. Okay, so we go to the end. As Filippo, he said at the beginning, this workshop is framed in the Barcelona Challenge for Good Food and Climate. So we encourage cities that are here to join the Barcelona Challenge. We are here to try to resolve all the questions or the comments that you could have related to the process of the challenge. I would like to finish just sharing some ideas in how the Barcelona Challenge could help your city. So there are 4 main ideas that we think is useful. The first one could be if you are, let's say, novel city starting to work on food policies, this Barcelona Challenge could help you to structure and understand better which are the actions, which are the departments that could work on those actions, and to organize all of those possible policies in, let's say, one page to try to understand how to move on. The challenge could help you on that. As you know, the challenge has a toolkit that can let you understand the order of magnitude of the impact of the policies. So you can use this toolkit in your decision-making process. I mean, which are the paths in your context that are going to have a bigger impact, a nicer impact on the climate emergency. It can be used also to communicate about the impact of your ongoing policies. The challenge can help you also with this. And it can be useful also to show that cities, they need the implication of other levels of governance if we want to tackle the climate emergency. There is not only a work that cities can do. We need a multi-level coordinated action if we need to really do climate action work. And this is all. I would like to thank you all for coming and to remind to cities of the core group of cities that are here if they could stay and have a small meeting also with Barcelona to try to see which is the communication that we are going to set up today in the official launch of the Barcelona Challenge. Filippo wants to close?
No, yes, thanks. Okay.
Yeah?
Thank you.
You could do both things?
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for being here, and thank you for having organized this moment. Now that you have shared your insights from your own city, it will be even easier to join the challenge. So thank you so much. Now there is in the plenary session a new moment of exchange. That is the theme is. Cities and the global and the cities and the food ¿cómo es? Ecco, eso es, y entonces nos esperan allá. See if we can go there. We will share what we have been doing with the Milan Pact at the pre-summit of the UNFSS, and also I think there's something interesting that the World Food Programme will share about the School Meal Coalition. So if you can please join us in the plenary, thank you.